Can you imagine a Bombayer, a Gujarati, physically building a 3-story house after work and in the weekend? Can you imagine a Viti buying a hardware store and becoming our largest member within 4 years? Can you imagine him building the first megastore in New Zealand? Can you imagine someone selling all 3 Mitre 10 stores to take the biggest risk in new retail venture? Can you believe that we are building the largest retail store in New Zealand to sell furniture and homewares? In my life, I've had big dreams. I've felt the motivation, the pressure, the excitement, the negativity, the stress, and I've made every dream happen. The first dream. We migrated to New Zealand in January 1987, and the plan was to get permanent residency and go back to Fiji, and the lifestyle was great. 4 months later, the first coup in Fiji happened, and that was the first setback. We decided to stay put and buy a house here, but with 23% interest rates on a reasonable house, we did not have enough money for a deposit. So what was the solution? We decided to build one. We bought a piece of land and designed and drew our 3-story house. The house was valued at $250,000, and maximum I could borrow was $50,000. We approached more than 10 banks and financing companies. Eventually, a building society believed the story and advanced the funding. We built it after work and in the weekend, and took us 18 months to build. Now, as a Bombayer, I did the work as a carpenter and builder. One dream achieved. It was 1989, and we had spent 2 years in New Zealand. We had a young family, and we were just settling down. The recession hit, and I knew I would need to find another job, or I would lose the house. It was the second setback in my life. Going through the newspaper, I spotted the Mitre 10 for sale in Henderson. Buying this was just another saga, as I had no money at all. After approaching several lending institutes, UDZ and ANZ Finance approved the loan. I did not have any deposit except for the house with a mortgage, and I was borrowing outside the lending criteria. But the manager believed my story. Sometimes you meet the right people at the right time. I still remember the BNZ manager trying to give me family advice, telling me why he would not put my life in misery and why they would not lend the money, especially with 1-year-old daughter. He was also the right person at the right time, giving me more motivation to achieve this new dream. We bought Mitre 10 and took possession on 1st October 1989. I still don't know why I bought the Mitre 10, but I suppose it was closest to construction. I continued to work and joined the business about 4 months later. The business came with 5 staff, including the manager. The staff told me that the customers now thought that it was going to be like a corner dairy. That alone gave me a challenge. And at the first Mitre 10 members meeting, one of the members told me I would last 6 months. And that got me really going. Since then, I haven't stopped running. We had a lot of faith and created a lot of change in the Mitre 10 business. Customer service was my focus, and that was a main driver for the constant growth and improvement. Over the years, we made a lot of changes and decisions. We were the first business in Henderson to open on Sunday. Soon, the rest of the businesses followed. We sold the house when it was only 2 years old, so we could expand the business. It was heartbreaking, but it was just another tough decision which had to be made. When it was time to expand the Henderson, we decided to move to the other side of the main road, which was like a jungle, and I was told I was making a wrong move. Everyone thought I was mad. 4 years later, we moved into that store. Then 4 years after that, we decided to build another Mitre 10 store in Westgate. And that was when there was no shopping centre in Westgate. 2 years after that, we expanded the Henderson store again, going from 2,500 square meters to 5,000 square meters. And in the process, we never shut the business down for a single day during the transition. We had to completely demolish a brand new 6-year-old, brand new building. Being a civil engineer, we built all our buildings. We kept innovating, testing, discovering, listening to customers' feedback, and taking the risk. A year after the new Henderson store started trading, I was invited to join the mega project team. This was an exciting challenge that allowed me to dream bigger and better. We travel around the world and research superstores, big box retailers. While overseas, I made up my mind to own a large format hardware store. We decided and made it happen. This was our first mega store in New Zealand. Whenever the time comes, our members used to say, let Vinod do it, and let's see if it works, and then we'll do it. So that was the first mega store in New Zealand. In a nutshell, Mitre 10 originated in Australia and at a peak had 650 stores. Today, there are less than 100 stores and no mega stores at all, because as the Bunnings stores opened, everyone kept closing their stores down. We started a revolution in New Zealand, and today Mitre 10 is still larger than Bunnings. Some of the key achievements we were the first to start importing goods, introduced kitchens into the group, and many, many more products. We grew the business 37 times over the first 19 years, when the whole group only grew 7 times. It is like having All Blacks without Fijians players. The other dream, when we first opened the mega store, we were visited by Swedish embassy. Swedish because that's where the IKEA store belongs to. They asked me to write to IKEA and get their franchise to New Zealand, and they said, if anyone can do it, it is you. We did write and got a negative reply. Having done the mega, we decided to do our own furniture store rather than be tied up to a franchise group. When traveling overseas, I realized that as New Zealanders, we have been missing out on affordable and quality furniture. We have been doing the research for the last 9 years and finally decided that the store needed to be huge and selling furniture, furnishing, and home decor items. So we decided we would do something about it. The biggest dream I ever had, called Nido. New Zealand's largest home store. With a land area of 31,000 square meters, we decided to build a 27,000 square meter retail store. This is the size of more than 5 soccer fields. Once completed, it will be the biggest retail store in New Zealand. We are hoping to open in January. My personal goal has always been to give more than what I get. Although I want Nido to be successful, this dream wasn't about money. This dream was about creating more than 200 jobs and giving a platform to a younger generation and experience the best in retail. And in return, the Kiwis will get more choice and more variety in furniture and homewares. The store will have 100 room settings and a complete house in it. For that reason, we even sold all the Mitre 10 stores as there was not much fun left in running a hardware store, buying the same 6 old hammers and selling the 6 old hammers again. At peak, we used to have more than 350 staff. In concluding, I would like to say that hardship life in Fiji taught me taught me a lot and gave me alternative ideas and think differently. I'm an opportunist, hardworking, determined, and generous. My question always have been why not and why it cannot be done. Any expert in the field can quickly summarize what is the issue, and I try and find solution to that particular problem. For me, happiness is building, construction, going against the norm, achieving the impossible, seeing others excel, and having a happy family and grandchildren. I hope you can take away my key points: dream it, feel it, and just do it. You might be afraid, but you need to push past your fear. You might have people telling you that you can't do something, but you need to block them out, then prove them wrong. Along your journey, remember to look after your family, your people, your team. You can't bring a dream to reality without support from the entire team and having the right friends and people. I want to leave you with a last quote from Sir Peter Blake. To win, you have to believe you can do it. You have to be passionate about it. You have to really want the result, even if this means years of work. The hardest part of any project is to begin. We have begun. We are underway. We have a passion. We want to make a difference. Thank you. I'd like to dedicate my talk to all the people who actually came to Fiji, especially the indentured laborers before my parents actually came to Fiji. And I'd like to really dedicate to them.